Baby, got me staring at you. So I'm crazy. Won't you bend that back for me? We won't stop. Got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me. I can take you down for a ride. I take you around my life. Jaywalking, crosswalking, lip locking with you. I know it, you know it. We make it. So I'm crazy. Oh my baby, got me staring at you. So I'm crazy. Won't you bend that back for me? We won't stop. Got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me. I can take you down for a ride. I take you around my life. Jaywalking, crosswalking, lip locking with you.
Hello folks, it has been a while. My name is Perfect.is. You might not have seen me here a little bit, but believe it or not, I'm a resident Southeast Asian and a resident EPL caster it seems, and I'm back with a good friend of mine, Plate. And today we have for you InterActive Philippines versus Carstensz. Of course, we're still knee-deep in the group stage. Plate, you're a lot more familiar with the games as of recent, but I have been seeing these teams around, and we have a draft already for you. So I think Carstensz, they are doing okay, you know, in the group stage so far. Nothing too crazy, but InterActive Philippines have been smashing it, surprisingly.
Yeah, no, InterActive Philippines have come out pretty strong in the tournament so far. Just really playing off the strength of their mid, I feel. Carey's been doing well as well. I mean, just a lot of their pieces have been coming together. DCMG has had a couple of pretty good standout appearances so far. So we'll have to check up and keep our eyes open for those cores on InterActive Philippines. They're definitely the focal point of that team, in my opinion. But I do like this way that Carstensz have started the draft. They pick up this Dawnbreaker, a very highly contended hero for both of these teams. It's among their top 5 most picked, or top 6 actually for InterActive Philippines. So again, they love playing this hero. They pick it up immediately, and InterActive Philippines try to respond with some Magnus, Lina. There's not a lot of synergy between these two, but they still have, picks left to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, we'll see what they choose to go for here. I think we were loosely discussing what that sort of matchup looks like, or at least what the sort of bands look like at the moment. And you said one team has done their homework clearly, and one team has banned out heroes they don't like. Maybe explain that a little bit for me.
Okay, so Carstensz here banning out that Timber Saw and the Batrider and the Doom in that first phase. Now, InterActive Philippines hit 16% win rate with the Timber Saw the first stage of this year. Absolutely cannot win with it whatsoever. No idea why Carstensz are banning it against InterActive Philippines. It just doesn't make any sense. But InterActive Philippines, this Nyx, Morphling, Night Stalker, all 3 heroes incredibly potent and favorites of Carstensz Esports. So they'd love to go with that. And I mean, Sneeze, I told you at the beginning, even before we went live, Zeus was going to get picked. I said, the Carstensz just love this hero. They pick it up, they get it immediately. They got such a nice global strategy already. You have the Dawnbreaker follow-up with an Earthshaker, Blink, Echo Slam if you want to, Zeus ultimate as well. I mean, for Carstensz, it looks like they're going to go for that big team fight, win it, get a couple towers, and keep pushing their advantage that way.
Yeah, so the interesting thing is that they're picking Earthshaker, and their mid laner's in-game lobby nickname that you guys can't see right now is actually Tupac Earthshakur. So he's tagged in for it. He's ready to rumble. And I think it's especially interesting that this is picked into the Lina, because you would think, okay, Lina just kind of smashes almost every single lane, right? There's very few heroes that actually can bring the heat to this lady. But Earthshaker, surprisingly, if you manage to just survive those first few levels, get a few rotations from your supports maybe to get those runes, water rune, regen up, you actually are a really good matchup against her this game, right? You have a Zeus to find her out, you have an immediate jump onto her, Echo Slam, and then you have to follow up with the Dawnbreaker as well. So I think some pretty good tools to deal with the hot lady in the mid lane. Skywrath Mage comes out, a little bit of an interesting pick here, and an Ogre Magi, so some good magic damage and control to help them out.
Yeah, InterActive Philippines love the Ogre Magi. Carstensz also love the Spectre of their own, but I just want to bring it up real quickly. InterActive Philippines have not played Skywrath Mage this year. This is the first time they've picked it up, period. Not just in EPL, but across all stages of tournaments and play that they've, we've got public record of. So maybe this could be some sort of tech that they're putting in, maybe, early on to see if they can't figure some sort of counter, but the Spectre comes up pretty immediately, and this is a direct counter to both the Lina and the Skywrath Mage. They hate having heroes on top of them, hitting them for free, and the Spectre, I mean, the best hero in Dota at the moment to get on top of somebody and kill them, so we'll have to see how both of those two heroes can respond. Maybe some, Lina could get some, what the heck is it called? The Ghost Scepter upgrade.
E-Blade?
E-Blade, there we go. That's the one, Sneeze. This is why you're here and I'm here. E-Blade for Lina. Skywrath Mage could go for something like that. Shadow Blade. We do see that as a counter to the Nullifier that Spectre builds up eventually. But, last picks, Carstensz could pick up a mid. They could also flex this Earthshaker to that position 4 role. The Dawnbreaker Earthshaker lane isn't the best thing in the world, but I don't think it necessarily loses depending on the matchup. But we do see Carstensz banning out that Lifestealer, so it could be prepping for that possible flex. I'm just trying to see heroes that they do sometimes play in that 4 role. Could be a Coddle that they've played many times. Phoenix is something that we might see, but the Lina's already picked, so that's likely not an option. They could go for Tiny and toss the Earthshaker in for those big Echo Slams. It's a pretty funny meme, but if you want to get on top of the Lina or the Skywrath Mage, that's another option. That's another way of doing it.
That's the
Oh, they
call.
go.
Okay, so this is perfect, right? Because everything in Carstensz's draft makes sense. You play for very much the daytime. You get a lot of vision with the Zeus, run around the Keeper of the Light, a ton of magic damage. So this Earthshaker's actually gonna get pivoted. I didn't really expect this because I think Earthshaker now, he just feels so good as a core, doesn't he? He farms
Yeah, he does.
fast, the Slugger is insane, but you can kind of get that same value as a position 4 as well. It's a bit clunkier with the Dawnbreaker. I'm not very sure whether I like it. I guess that's why they ban out the Bristleback, because they're worried that the Dawn will take a lot of heat. Now, InterActive Philippines go for the Lycan, so they actually, this is something that I thought they were going to potentially try, pivot the Magnus to the safe lane instead, so it can kind of stand up against that Dawnbreaker pressure, and DCMG is going to be riding that Lycan. Now, taking a look at who's locking in which heroes, it might not actually be... Yeah, it might not actually be a mid Kotal. Have they mostly been playing this in the mid, or have they sort of switched this between supports as well?
Let me tell you. Let me take a quick look-see here. No, they normally play the Kotal 4. This is right
Okay,
where the
that makes
Kotal
sense.
should be. Yeah, so they do put that Kotal in that position for good vision right there. I mean, Carstensz Esports' vision throughout these fights is going to be absolutely insane. You have that Zeus, you have the Kotal as well, which gives, I believe, like, is the most vision in daytime, if I'm not mistaken.
You might be right.
and
That
just-
sounds lore accurate.
It does sound more accurate, and if I'm wrong, then Dota's a bad game. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you're playing with vision, you have a Spectre that can really take care of, take advantage of that vision. Earthshaker as well. When you get that Blink Dagger up, you can find those targets on the edge and pick them off. And when you're a Magnus and you want to play into teams, you typically want to have that vision advantage for the abductions. And not being able to get the jump on the opponents is really bad for Magnus in particular. I'm kind of feeling this Carstensz draft a little bit more. I think I am going to give them the edge here.
Yeah, what don't you really like about the InterActive Philippines draft? Do you feel like the Lycan's a bit of a band-aid at the end there? Is it sort of just one team has a better idea about what they want to do? What are you seeing?
Well, I'm looking at the stats. The stats is what I'm looking at. And for Carstensz, the lowest win rate here they have on their team is Earthshaker, 50%. Besides that, everything else, if I'm not mistaken, has a 60+% win rate or more, like for heroes on their team that they picked in this draft. For InterActive Philippines, no recorded gameplay of Lycan or Skywrath Mage in this, like in 2025. It doesn't look... So it's, you're going up against Carstensz's dream draft. They get everything they want, and InterActive Philippines are coming in with something new. Maybe it's a curveball that, off-speed stuff that can pan out, but if it, if the enemy has a good read on it, it just turns into an easy home run. So we'll have to see how they plan out here.
So you talk about a lot how Carstensz have the perfect draft and the perfect lineup. There are some pretty interesting ideas that InterActive Philippines have as well, right? I think the key thing that the Lycan gives you is a lot of information around the map. The heroes on Carstensz, in a weird way, never really want to show, which is why I like this Kotal pick a lot. It can clear waves without doing that. But everyone else kind of needs to show on a wave. They have decent wave clear with the Zeus and maybe the Earthshaker to throw a couple spells out. But you always want to play off-map on Carstensz, and Lycan makes that a little bit difficult. So I think there's a world where they actually get ahead by splitting the map, farming, and then they use these Lycan Wolves to enable the Skywrath and Lina pickoffs. Although I'm not really sure whether it's as compelling, right? This Magnus, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really like Magnus carry. I know it's pretty strong and it can scale very well, but I've just always thought, you might as well pick like a real carry or something like that.
Real carry? I mean, I get the Magnus carry, right? You get the Empower early, you can just farm incredibly fast, but like, you get to the one-on-one carry matchups, and Magnus cannot outright click a Spectre. It's never going to happen. I mean, maybe you're thinking about like natural Silver Edge builder on the Magnus as well, so you have a way to break the Spectre. But if that's your only form of break for Spectre, and the Spectre's never going to go onto the Magnus, it doesn't feel great. And maybe Magnus's idea here is you can counter-initiate, right? Spectre taunts in, and then you just blink RP the Spectre, on top of the Lina, skewer them away, and then you know that your Lina's going to be safe. Feels very reactionary, and reactive Dota is not the best way to play Dota.
Yeah, especially when you're playing up against a draft with so much initiative, right? We already talked about the insane global potential. I think the Kotal is a nice pick to round out the draft. It's what Carstensz have really liked for themselves. But I kind of feel like the perfect draft would have like a Nyx, right? You just run around the map, so much pressure. You can sort of another combination with the Dawnbreaker. Of course, that's a hero that's frequently banned out. So early lanes wise, is there any particular side of the map that you'd like to keep your eye on, play?
The only thing that I can think about is this top lane, because again, InterActive Philippines have put 2 heroes they've never played on the same lane, and you know, Azura and the Zeus, these are 2 of Carstens's best heroes. They love these 2 heroes, so it's going to be a matchup of familiarity versus experimentation, and I tend to give the edge to familiarity just because you typically know what you're doing. You have things set up, you know when your support's going to pull if you're this Spectre, you know as the Zeus when you can commit to getting kills here. And I mean, hero matchups aside, the Spectre shouldn't necessarily get killed, so it's going to be an okay lane for the Spectre, I think.
We'll see. For now, 4-1 on the CS. Azura not really having the best time now. I can't speak on behalf of Carstensz having their comfort here. But what I can speak on is being a Skyref mage player, and I look at this lane, I'm laughing. I'm having a big old cackle. These guys ain't gonna touch me. I got wolves, I got spells, they throw a dagger at me, I have a little giggle. It's not a big deal, and I think maybe that's kind of why we're seeing this hero despite it not being picked. The Zeus, we already sort of briefly talked about it played. It brings a lot as a position 5. On paper, you're supposed to be able to out-trade every lane, but Olive VB is the one sort of being pushed back right now by a combination of DCMG and Sagiri, baby.
It's not a 1v1 fight, really. It's 1v.5 versus 1, because you have those 2 wolves that are going to keep bullying the Zeus out. And first blood is what happens bottom.
What the? That's a little unexpected.
Dude, no, I know why. I know exactly why. It's because the Ogre went learning curve and just hit level 2. They had the blast to follow through.
Oh, good catch on the Jet, baby.
Yeah.
Farming Arc does just decide to sort of sacrifice himself. I say that, but Blood Grenade still ticking low though, has a Tango rolling. A little bit weird from the Dawnbreaker. It kind of looked like he was just submitting himself to his death, but he ends up just kind of going to the high ground, TPing out. Meanwhile, top lane, just action all around the map. Both safe laners suffering big time, as I don't even know if they needed to dive. They probably just poked and prodded the Spec under the tower.
Yeah, Dumb Caster saying Dumb Caster thinks the Spectre dies, and then everything I said about the lane falls apart. So who knows what the heck is going to happen up top. But the Zeus going for 2 points in Lightning Bolt instead of 1 point in Arc Lightning to like help clear the wolves out is a little bit weird in my opinion. I think Zeus might be going for too much comfort in the lane. You definitely have ways of killing the Zeus if you're the Zeus. Well, killing the Zeus, especially if you're InterActive Philippines, right? We talked about it with the Skyref Mage and the Lycan Wolves, but the Zeus can kill the Wolves as well, and rotations over into the mid lane. It looks like Coddle needs a little bit of help. Now he's fine.
Yeah, real quick on that. Boots and Windlace picked up very early on. That's kind of one of the benefits of the Kotal, right? Already moves fast, you get those items, it just gets amplified. Trucking it around the map. Ali, he'll be completely fine here. How's mid lane going? Earthshaker, not doing the best, but still surviving. And this is kind of at least what I talked about. I don't know whether you agree that this Earthshaker, what we've seen more and more is just these stacks being built up in the triangle. You come over here at the 8-minute mark, you echo slam it, and you can get a huge injection of net worth. But very nice sentry already being placed by Jotun to at least block that hard cam from being stacked up.
And this stack is going to be make or break for Carstensz. I really believe that. InterActive Philippines have really good stack clearing potential themselves with the Magnificent Power, the Shockwave as well. You bring over the Lina with the Dragon Slave, insane damage. And it depends. Oh, they bring over the Skyref Mage mid too.
Oh, that was very weird from Leon, baby, because he right before the Skyref Mage pops out, he scans it, and I think he briefly caught a glimpse of that rotation from the ward. So the fact that he still sticks around, maybe just underestimating the magic damage. Little bit of a fumble there, I'm not gonna lie, from the Earthshaker, allows the Skyref Mage to go in, plant a fresh ward, and spot out the Ancients being stacked. Come down to the bot lane, very convenient catch out onto the Kotal. Sagiri, baby, already making quite a bit of impact around the map.
Yeah, I wonder if this is something that InterActive Philippines have played in like scrims because this is very new.
Oh,
no,
Lacuna,
goes
Leon
back
baby.
in.
The long range from Yona, not expecting the high five slam dunk coming in. I mean, at least for me, I didn't get to watch them in this tournament, but I did get to watch them at Acer APAC Predator League. And InterActive Philippines, some of their players, you know, didn't really look the best. But the one that did stand out for me was this position 4. I guess he goes by the name Sagiri Baby here, but we know him as Key. He just somehow finds impact a lot of the times, even if his team is down. And I think his team is definitely not down thanks to him now. Bot lane though, Jet Baby being run down again. Olivie B needs another Mango, needs another Bolt. Doesn't see the Magnus for now, and the tree ain't gonna save him. Olivie B gets a nice little pick off. At least some answers being found on the map by Carstensz.
Jotun doesn't look like he's done here though.
And there is still a 12-1. Farming Arc is completely fine, just baiting out the response from the Ogre. And with Zeus wrapping back around, they might just go for another hammer. Clips out onto the Ogre. Nice stun, but Jotun likely gonna go down. Another pickup for the Zeus. That's one of the powers of this hero. Just able to pump out so much damage early on.
I mean, I wanted to touch on the Sagiri Baby rotations because he went mid, they got the kill on the Leon Baby, then he goes bottom, they get a kill onto Ali, and he just goes back mid and kills Leon Baby again. It's like 3 kills in like, what, a minute maybe? Just because the Skywrath Mage went to 2 lanes and used concussive shot 3 times. Just talk about the power of the range of a Skywrath Mage in a game. And he also went for that magic damage shield as well, so he's going to be able to survive against a lot of the random magic damage from Carstensz. If he gets hit with the, you know, random Echo Slam or a Zeus ultimate, for example, he's going to be able to have the tankiness to survive through a couple of those spells.
Yeah. Incentivizes the whole use of your spells right before you see anything, right? Sometimes Skywrath mages, you know, you feel a bit apprehensive to throw those out all willy-nilly, but especially in the shield, it's going to be a huge
up
boost.
top, Spectre's in so much trouble.
Yikes, Azura just getting run down by the dog. Level 6 Shapeshift means that it's a very easy pickup.
Yona mid Echo Slam.
Oh my goodness, Yona with the catch. Leon Baby just gonna do a very easy walk up and slam him situation. Maybe overplaying his hand there. What the?
It was as easy as 1, 2, 3, walk, slam, kill.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, this game has been quite unexpected so far. I think the top lane went as well as I thought it would for the Spectre, just overall very weak laner, but the fact that this Magnus is having such a rough time is kind of surprising. And I think mid lane, the fact that Yona dies there is kind of a huge fumble.
Yeah, I mean, the first death you can kind of forgive, but the second one, or we'll see if he gets the second one, because if Yona dies the second time, it's going to be bad. It's going to go from bad to worse, I really feel. The Lena really needs to stay on top of levels here. If you give that to Earthshaker a Blink Dagger, the earlier the Blink, the more pressure you're going to feel on the map.
Yeah, they're still stacking up this Ancient Stack. That's the sort of recovery program for this Earthshaker, who is just about 400, 500 gold away from the Blink. So not too bad. Leon Baby still managing to climb his way back with the help of many support rotations, of course. The top of the net worth is, of course, this Lina, followed by the Lycan. She already has a Boots of Travel, so pretty interested to see where the area of play is going to be. My immediate thought is that you want to drag as much attention away from your Magnus as possible, force the Dawnbreaker to Solar Guardian somewhere else. So maybe this top tier 1 is going to be under threat. I mean, the Catapult's coming up in 1 more minute. The Lycan has chosen to go for a bit more of a greedy build with the Midas, so we're not going to see some early Helm Dom or any type of situation like that. I don't mind this too much, given the game that he has.
You're going to be surprised to know that the Hand of Midas build is actually the standard build for Lycan nowadays. I looked it up the other day because I was like, what the heck do you build on this hero? Just Hand of Midas Harpoon, and you just like build, then you transition to either AC or BKB, depending on what you feel like you need this game. DCMG is a little bit of a greedier position 3 in my opinion, so likely going to go for Nuzlocke here. But we'll see. Depends entirely on what he's feeling, what kind of flavor of offlaner he wants to play today.
Yeah,
he can basically do whatever he wants. I mean, he's got, what, second in the net worth right now, only following Yona. And net worth on these heroes for InterActive Philippines is going to be incredibly important. The more gold you have than the Spectre, gives you more chance to win the game early on.
Oh, they must have used the slam for the kill. That's why they don't have it. I need to bring 4 members here. So still a decent chunk of change, but now it's split across more members instead. It's a lot of attention in this area just to communal farm it though, and it just kind of feels like if you look at the way InterActive Philippines are spread out across the map, they have so much information from these wolves, from these aggressive positions. It feels already like Carstensz, they're being squashed out of their side of the map.
I mean, it's not just that, but you know how a team is feeling in terms of defensiveness by the ward placements. And InterActive Philippines, they've got their wards in the enemy triangle, so they knew that stack was taken up top.
All right, that's a blink reveal,
Yep.
and that probably is the second best blink reveal you could get compared to maybe killing the Lina one more time. So DCMG, no way he could have sort of seen that coming. Maybe the prolonged absence from everybody on Carstensz could have been an easy hit. Echo Slam in the tree line. It's only going to be on the Skyref Mage though. I guess at this point, every kill that you get is worth it, and they will find a second one for Leon Baby. So a very successful blink reveal for him. Meanwhile, bot lane looks like Jet Baby tried to set up for a TP in from the Ogre, but realistically speaking, they're not going to get much done here.
Oh, it was a recovery Echo Slam for sure is what that one was. That was to make up for one of the deaths that happened in the lane. But we talked about that global presence, and it finally came into fruition. DCMG was relatively in a safe position, except for there's actually 4 heroes that can hunt him down at any time. Everybody's coming in though. They want to kill Azura.
Oh, who's killing who though? Yona, who's the traveling in? Almost tanked. Way too much magic damage to deal with. Yeah, try for the RP. Swings and misses and haunt away out to safety. Where's the Spectre gone?
Dire's top tower is under
Mid.
attack.
Other side of the map. So they managed to escape pretty cleanly. It was an awkward attempt there, I'll say, from InterActive Philippines. One of the main things that I'm realizing now is they don't really have good catch unless the Skyref Mage.
They want to go back in.
Oh, they're gonna try. Jump in. Their initiation is still second to none. Leon Baby will get a second. Jotun though, still showing his face. I mean, there's no way he gets out here. There's a fissure, there's a bunch of stuns. This is the dead Ogre. So InterActive Philippines trying to find a play there, nicely disengaged by Carstensz. Now the Zeus might still go down to the Wolves. Oh, that is just painful stuff. What can you do? Meanwhile, bot lane, Jet Baby, found out by this Daylight duo, has to pop the RP, setting up for Yoda to come in, and farming up will just get pummeled down. Try to dodge away now with the hammer, I say that. Still had a Dragon Slave, but didn't have the range to throw it out. Shockwave, maybe should have tried to time those two spells together. Sagiri Baby has the last bits of ammo. It'll be cleaned up by a remaining Dragon Slave. But oh, Leon Baby, non-stop fighting on this map. 8 to 11 right now. This game feels so even just because kills are flying left and right.
I mean, that was at that bottom. That was a good trade for Carstensz. Honestly, a very good trade for them. Getting the kill on the Magnus, putting the Magnus even more behind somehow, and committing both RP and Laguna Blade is going to put Leon Baby in even more safety. Has the Echo Slime available, can look to find another pick off here. Most Earthshakers do go for that Aghanim Scepter next, but he's only got the Ogre Axe, so he might be thinking about a BKB even, just to try to stay and push the tempo here. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it as well, although the Aghanims just feels like such a juicy tool.
Yeah,
and
it's so good.
you gotta imagine Leon, maybe he's very happy about this situation, right? Started the game with 2 deaths, now 7, 2, and 0, basically kills non-stop in his pocket. Jotun just getting caught out here. This is the problem. The second you start to lose a little bit of ground against this Carstensz lineup, they can mop you up like dirt on the floor. Leon Baby finding himself a monster kill streak now. Feeling very good about this situation. And even Azura, who's having a piss poor time. Look at his net worth. He's 4K, but if his team can keep setting up kills like this for him around the map, it ain't gonna be a problem.
No, it's and the thing about Spectre is Spectre. She is an inevitability, right? When you get to like 3 or 4 items on a Spectre, the game becomes so much harder for your supports and for your cores as well. I mean, looking for that Orchid timing. Once that Orchid comes out, it's going to be a lot easier to get some kills. But they found DCMG up top. Echo Slam is used. Dawnbreaker Ultimate was used as well. They got everything on that Lycan and took them down.
Same fate. I mean, it happened just now a bit earlier on as well, and that might be something that he gets to unfortunately look forward to for the rest of this game. It's just going to be that kind of commitment. And even with the shapeshift, you're not getting out of that one. The chain stuns are just a bit too strong, man.
I mean, dude, he didn't even he was perma-stunned. He couldn't even cast his ultimate to get out of that situation.
Here's a smoke move though. InterActive Philippines not wanting to lose even more ground in this area. Azura is showing on the wave in a rather aggressive position and might realize now that he is in big trouble. Here comes the concussive. A bit too deep under the tower, surely. Yona still doesn't have the Aghanims, which means the damage, it's not going to be enough. The Lina still trying to chase down though. Azura juking to the side. Coming in is the Dawnbreaker and the Haunt away out to safety. The Spec will still go down to the poor Skyref Mage though. And okay, they do get Yona for their trouble, so it ends up being an even trade. Not too bad, all things considered, for Carstensz.
I mean, I think if you're Carstensz, you honestly take that. Yona is top of the net worth right now and has, I mean, the most to lose. Spectre, again, struggling pretty hard in this game, but a couple of early deaths is something you kind of expect. When you're playing the hero, you just... A free Spectre games do not come very frequently, if at all, at any point in Dota anymore, and Spectre's no different. But for Carstensz, again, they don't really care. Honestly, it feels like the Spectre is just going to be a global silence at some point on a single target that they want to initiate on. And you talked about how, you know, the global presence is there, but for the past, like, 3 minutes, they've been using it pretty effectively. A kill on the Magnus from the smoke could be even bigger, though.
They have perfect vision, just waiting for their time. In comes Leon, baby. Immediate Dawnbreaker ultimate. The chain stun. Every single time this ultimate is off cooldown, it results in a high value kill. They have so much vision around the map that the Lycan Wolves have not been able to flush them out of. A stun now though. Onto Ali Akbar. Running in is DCMG. Glimmercape saving him for now, but there is a sentry on the ground. Azura trying to find a target. Leon, baby, will connect though. Finds that Ogre Magi, ends up being 2. DCMG still trying to threaten this group ball though. But take a look at how Carstensz are playing. They are ganging up around their zoo, saying you want to run into him, you gotta get past us. That's not a prospect the Lycan thinks of very highly. He's gonna back up. Back to safety
again. Yeah, you
again.
see how Carstensz played that fight too, right? They isolate every single time they went on a target. It was just because of that vision. Echo Sign bottom.
Oh, Yona being found again. Carstensz. Leon, baby, has been picking them up non-stop. 12-2-1. And when you can sort of come back so comfortably on the Earthshaker, even into a losing lane matchup, it doesn't really seem to matter.
I love how Leon Baby has played this game up until this point. It's just, it's buying time is what it's doing. Even the kills like 12 and 2 is whatever. In my opinion, it's just about the amount of time that he's buying for the Spectre. Talk about how far behind the Spectre is, but the only reason why Spectre can catch up is because of the play from Leon Baby, and the atomization is coming through. They found that global silence as we talked about. Magnus could be in trouble here.
Magnus is in big trouble, just gets knocked down. All these deep wards and the aggressive play coming out from Carstensz, allowing them to just maneuver the map with ease. There isn't really a play. That's the problem from InterActive Philippines, right? We talked about them trying to abuse the Lycan Wolves to find these pickoffs, but it all feels like it started with that awkward attempt with Yona in the bot lane. The fact that you over-die for that Spectre, sure, you get the kill, but it takes way too long, and you made that move before your Aghanims was complete. You gotta wonder, maybe if they just waited 30 seconds, that would have been a very different story. Now Yona caught out 3 times on the map. Still top net worth because that's just the power of the Lina. But you die a couple of times on this hero, you're giving a lot of gold and EXP to Carstensz.
And that's kind of a reason you know, in retrospect, I don't really like this Boots of Travel build on the Lina because of the global counterplay from Carstensz. Maybe Yona was thinking about the Boots of Travel, that's just the build that you go on the Lina for 1, but maybe for 2, if a fight does start on the other side of the map, you can go and support it, but I'm not convinced that that is the correct play, and Jochin, he's going to pay for...
Just get flattened by this Earthshaker. Taking absolutely no prisoners here. Makes sense, and he's gone for the Aghanim Scepter. He doesn't even need the BKB. You maybe would be concerned about it if InterActive Philippines were putting up any sort of a fight, but they're not being very interactive right now, just cowering under whatever vision, whatever safety they think they have. It's a little bit of an illusion. We have a pause here just so we can collect our thoughts. This game has sort of spiraled completely out of control and honestly gone pretty much the way that you expected play. You saw that Carstensz basically got every single thing that they wanted from this draft. Yep. And InterActive Philippines, was it really worth it sort of giving over all of this so you could secure a Lina, a Magnus, a Lycan? I mean, this, I don't really know.
What has the Lycan done besides, you know, come out of the lane with an advantage? What has the advantage turned into? A Midas to farm a little bit more? That's why, you know, I do recognize the Midas is the build, but I think in this particular case, should have gone just straight for the Echo Saber. Push the towers. You know, use the wolves for their potential. If you're not going to use them to scout enemies, just keep lanes pushed in, right? Like there's so many different things you could do with this Lycan. Maybe even, as you said, go with that Helm of Dominator build and really shut down the opponents. Instead, we've been seeing the Skywrath Mage, besides the laning stage, kind of walk around and not really find anything. And you know, Yona again overextending a couple of times. It just comes down to the vision. And you take a look, you know, speaking of, one defensive ward is all InterActive Philippines have. Their map is completely dark. They don't know what the heck is going on. But Carstensz, they can get away with more creative wards as long as they can see deep pockets, the global presence. They can get on top of individual targets. And you can already see that Carstensz are going to smell blood in the water and look for the Selena here.
Have a bit of a smell of something burning around this area.
Yep.
Can't quite place it though. Zeus ult's gonna come out just to give them that information that InterActive Philippines are mostly grouped around the top lane. This is kind of the problem of the Zeus. Even if you did set up good vision, if you can't keep that area safe, the Zeus is just gonna come in, clear it all out, set up deep wards of his own, and there's not much you can really do about it. You don't have that information as to where he's been. You don't know where this vision is set up. Just further paves the way for more pickoffs. But InterActive Philippines want to fire back here.
Oh,
Magnus.
look at their positioning at Earthshaker. This smoke is going to get broken.
He's on the high ground. This smoke is indeed going to get
They have
broken.
no
Jet maybe on the
idea.
front lines. They are looking at this Dawnbreaker to start the fight, but Echo Slam onto 2. It's a huge bit of damage coming in from Yona, and the RP holding down the Earthshaker. That is a big kill for them to get. Ends up being a 1-for-2 trade. InterActive Philippines. That is just about as good as you could ask for. And about your mid laner, don't think this is a fight you can continue. Although DCMG still has that BKB, but not feeling the need to really run anyone down or pop it. Doesn't really feel like any of these kills are viable, especially not into the Kotal with a blinding light and that Glimmer Cape. Yeah, the Wolves will just be somewhat dealt with. Ali, how about you get Ali?
Oh.
Let's show some respect here.
It's going
Okay.
for the Aghanim Scepter, actually. That Will-O-Wisp is going to come in handy really well. Talk about the big circles. You can help hold people into the Dawnbreaker ultimate as well, set people up for an Echo Slam. It's just such a, you know, more big circles can't be a bad thing for Carstensz.
So I do
And I
want to
mean-
sort of talk about how that
Yeah.
Earthshaker went down, because we talked about this Aghanims being a feel-good pickup. You said you want to see the BKB more. This is sort of the
Yeah.
one caveat of their draft, as we see a smoke being spotted out by the Wolves, very handy from DCMG. But it's all about this Ancient Seal, right? Increasing the magic damage by 35. This Earthshaker with 2.4k HP, he just melts like really, really quickly. So far we haven't really seen it because Carstensz have been the one aggressing. But if he gets focused down by these spells, he can go down. Speaking of focus down,
Yona.
okay. Well, Yona, bye-bye.
There's literally nothing you can do. Like, the only thing you can do is build an A on this.
Yeah, and
if
even
you're
then that
building
just
Aeon,
delays things.
Yeah. Yeah. You cannot play like this just as one person, and especially when Carstensz are going to hunt you down. You have to bait it out. If you're going to show as one person, if you have a turnaround like counter RP, for example, Lycan comes in onto the sideline, finds a pick up onto a Zeus when the fight breaks out, like, then you can start making plays like that. But, you know, Yona being the sacrificial lamb that's not a lamb you want to sacrifice. That's a lion you want to keep, you know, making the pride healthy. Whatever that means.
Yeah, well, I
You know
was
what-
trying to...
you know-
Yeah, I watched The Lion King. I know what you're talking about. What did you say about my brother? Okay, well, InterActive Philippines, we did see what the formula for success would look like, right? Jet Baby, almost towards that BKB, not gonna make it there though. Instant collapse again. Play, you keep telling them you can't be showing on the
Yeah.
map. InterActive Philippines keep showing on the map. It feels like you
Yeah.
just gotta play in this tight ball, group up, farm as safely as humanly possible. If not, you're just gonna get run down and picked off like this. Look at Leon, baby. Silent stop, that's the only thing that stops the chase from keeping going. Security, baby, will be fine, but the tower will not be.
Radiant's top tower is under
Yeah, the more you show, the more you die, and we literally talked about this. Spectre's starting to recover incredibly well off of the back of a couple of those kills here. Manta Style coming up, and once the Manta Style comes, the Spectre turns into an absolute powerhouse. Smoke up, they want to get a pick off. Without the Magnus, doesn't seem right.
They're gonna try, throw out all the magic damage onto this Spectre. It's a lot of amplification, like we said. BKB in from DCMG, trying to run them down. Solar Guardian not gonna be enough heal. Olivier B gonna go down as well. Even without the Magnus, caught Carstensz by surprise. That's the power of their draft. Along with the Flame Cope, the magic damage amplification from the Ancient Seal blows up the Spectre, but farming out, trying to come around, and that is a nice setup, chasing a bit too deep on Yona. Now the Magnus is back in the fight. We'll try and rejoin it. In comes Jet Baby as an RP onto 2, but where's the follow-up damage? Without your amp, without your Lina, you just can't cut through these tanky cores. Leon Baby gonna try and chase you down now. Magnus just respawned. He's gonna go down again. That's not the BKB pop that you wanted. And the only survivor from this fight is likely gonna be DCMG. Jumping away with his Lycan. Ali Akbar will have the protection of his cause against those wolves. That was momentarily could have been amazing, but then you gotta keep in mind you still haven't dealt with Leon Baby, and he's full HP, full mana, ready to turn it back around. That's exactly what happens.
Jotun TP's away from that fight, the Ogre Magi getting out of that position, but he TP'd in the middle of the creep camp, and then Dawnbreaker pops the Blade Mail when he's hit by Ignite, and kills him in the fountain.
Oh my god.
Yeah, very
Wow.
sad stuff. That Ogre Magi just getting picked off at the very end, even though they tried to escape. But DCMG, again, dude, Leon Baby is on a mission to make everybody from InterActive Philippines as miserable as possible.
Mission success, soldier. Leon Baby might have been a little bit late to the lobby. He was sighting a wooden PC, but he is looking like he's running on speed right now. Just non-stop kills across the map. Laguna trying to come out. Yona looking for a pickoff, but this is who did he even use the Laguna on? Everybody's fine. Everybody's fine. Keep chasing on here onto Sagiri Baby. This is just a collapse of InterActive Philippines. This is a team that's gone undefeated so far. Now with the pullback, farming up might have just gone a bit too deep. Now we'll just Solar Guardian himself just to get out of there. That's all right. That's a thing.
Yep.
Okay.
That happened.
That happens.
Radiant's bottom
Still getting punched away. Jet Baby, one more second for the blink. We'll find 2.
Nice.
Not too bad. Popping the BKB now. Will-O-Wisp to try and break it up. But he's still BKB'd, but he doesn't have any teammates anymore. He doesn't have any teammates. In comes DCMG on the backlines though. Looks to be finding 2 pickoffs, but no. The lifesteal from the Luminosity. DCMG has to run, but gets slammed down. 5 heroes wiped out on the map. It's only 26 minutes. This is a mauling from Carstensz. They are just dominating this game, number 1.
middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, it's looking like it might be close to getting, the hump has been hurdled by Carstensz here, and it's looking like, not GG quite yet. The comeback for InterActive Philippines has to be smoke up as 5 and go. They took that fight without RP. It was a very nice skewer, but there was no follow-up because everybody was dead. And that's the problem, right? We said this in the draft. You give Carstensz everything they want. They've played together like this before. All of these heroes are things that they love to do, and just 24/7 constant oppression. InterActive Philippines, they show one person on the map, they're dead. And even though you use these long cooldowns on Carstensz, you're so far ahead at this point. 12,000 gold lead from being dead even like 5 minutes ago. And that you can't control it. The bleeding has to stop. You gotta get, break your own leg to make things better again. And just accept the facts that BKBs have to come out for InterActive Philippines if you want to fight things out. But this Skyrath Mage in bottom here, getting caught up by Azura.
Trying to go for a Guardian Greaves just to purge off that silence. Perhaps help the team out against this overwhelming oppression, like you say. But
Yep.
the BKBs still one component away from Yona. Has to be so
Yona, not
careful.
again, Yona.
Yona, not like this. Spotted out in the tree line. The instant jump in. Leon Baby looking for the stun has found him. And in comes the Dawnbreaker. Bye-bye, Yona. Bye-bye, the BKB dream. Non-stop on a hunt. It's almost like he has their scent or something like that. Will-O-Wisp set up in the mid lane. DCMG has to force out the shapeshift BKB and dust out. Ali Akbar might have bitten off a bit more than he can chew there. And he will get clipped down. Nice turnaround from DCMG. And look at who is coming in. Leon Baby. Starting to jump. Starting to chase. Will get the blink off. DCMG is still a pretty force to be reckoned with, and running into the RP now. This is awkward. Leon Baby trying to jump up to the high ground. Dodges the shockwave. The Wolves are still on the hunt. Jet Baby looking for an auto attack, but can't find it. Oh, he's just gonna get up for free? Not like this. King comes Azura. It's a 1v4 situation, but he has the Haunt. He has so many illusions. Leon Baby cleans up on that Ogre Magi. gets DCMG on Azura as well, and this Spectre has made a full recovery, solo pressuring back 4. Jet Baby now in huge trouble. Needs to try and find the blink away, but gets stopped by the fissure. Not respecting the Earthshaker's ability to rejoin the fight, and Leon Baby gets revenge. That looked close for a moment, but I feel like that's all InterActive Philippines can give themselves. Just nothing but really close shaves. You just keep looking back at these engagements thinking, oh, if only Yona was there with a BKB or some sort of follow-up. It just feels like InterActive Philippines, they keep trying to find small little opportunities, but you need to be grouping up as 5. You need to try and take a full fight. That seems like the only way you can win. This pick-off style ain't gonna favor you.
No, you can't play pickoff with the global team, dude. It's just not going to work. Carstensz can respond to any play that you make on InterActive Philippines. The only way to counter it, as we keep telling InterActive Philippines, maybe they can't hear us, is to group up as 5 and do something together. I mean, the thing is, when you're playing this global style, Carstensz are never as 5 together. Look at how they're playing the map right now. 2 bottom, 1 mid, 2 top. If you're the InterActive Philippines, you group up, you find a pickoff onto a target.
The Dawnbreaker innate. The Dawnbreaker innate. They spot you out. You're on outside of the map, Yona. You want a world tour? Up to the high ground, trying to interrupt. The slam will get him down. And Yona goes down again. Like you say, the response is immediate. They don't even waste a second. Azura, he's all over it.
I mean, InterActive Philippines are playing with the map, and Carstensz are playing with the world right now. Is what it feels like. He just can't. They're nowhere safe. The smoke up, but they want to find the Magnus as well.
Oh my goodness, the Will-O-Wisp.
Holy smokes! Echo Slam.
Yeah.
Will-O-Wisp.
They don't care. They don't care. They know that this is rapidly closing in. It's like a noose choking them little by little. DCMG just has to pop BKB Shapeshift to run away from a shadow step.
Yeah.
Pings out the wall, but what does it matter? It's not like your support can come and deal with this.
Go de-ward it. There you go. Yeah, trust me, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
it's okay.
guys, we need to set up visual on the map, guys. Come on,
guys, we need to de-ward help.
guys, please.
Support diff for sure.
Yeah,
no, it's impossible. It's impossible. I don't know. It's again, InterActive Philippines. When was the last time they were making a coherent effort to, you know, get their map back? Seems like no. They've been farming their, you know, items to hit key timings, and the key timings are all 10 minutes behind. They find the leader again, man.
I mean, it's not even hard. Just press Thunder God's Wrath. You see how on the map, Azura in with the instant shadow step. Here comes Ali to clean things up. Azura will get another. You literally can't exist. I think the counterplay is that you actually have to be in your fountain. Speaking of the base, farming up, Solar Guardianing in to save Leon Baby, dropping low now on the Earthshaker, will actually go down. So a nice effort to respond while Carstensz were busy picking up the Lina, now farming up. In trouble as well. Can't get the lifesteal out. Azura is here to play though. All the Haunt Illusions and the Will-O-Wisp pulling everybody in. These supports are gonna be easy pickings here. Jotun has vision right under the tower. Now Jet Baby tries for a Harpoon, but gets stopped by the Will-O-Wisp. Oh no, Ali. You've fallen for his trap. This is his ring. He's gonna be the winner here. Oh, hang on.
The wolves?
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay.
They're fine.
What?
Jump in,
Immediate
DCMG.
hard
He doesn't care. He does not care. Azura just all over this game. Skull Basher complete, so even through the BKB, he'll be able to cut down this poor wolf. The support's just dealing with the baby wolves. Azura's got bigger fish to fry. I think he realizes he needs the help of his allies here. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just a little poke at the prod.
Radiant's middle tower
DCMG
is
back to
under
the base.
attack.
Shapeshift ending. Mass TP's coming out though. The Will-O-Wisp. Okay, well, you get the Mystic Flare out onto the poor Ali Coddle. Does that matter? Kind of feels like a small kill, but I guess you're at the stage where you get everything you can get. Sugiri Baby just gotta go down. Turn around with the Nimbus. You need a Laguna and Illusion on Yona. Out of just sheer frustration, man.
I'd be so frustrated if I was Yona too, man. Like, I show up to I used 2 spells to farm a lane. Thunder God's Wrath, Spectre Haunt. Just immediately. Like, it must be the most annoying thing in the world. And InterActive Philippines finally get a kill, but the first thing they do is they split up and look for clues. This is not Scooby-Doo. You are not detectives.
I mean, it's certainly a mystery how they're gonna get back into this game, so I don't blame them.
I don't know.
I literally don't. It's 18k. Look, another haunt, another kill. Okay, bye-bye, Magnus. That's your carry, by the way. RP, nice RP, brother. He didn't even get to pop it out.
Yep.
Guys, this is... I just wonder what the comms right now are like on InterActive Philippines. Like, what are they saying, right? Because what is the strat? What are they waiting for? They got BKB on Magnus, they got BKB on Lina, they got BKB on Lycan, Nullifier now. Maybe this is the opportunity. They're gonna try and look for this Zeus in the mid lane. Should be a pretty easy one, but if they can find Earthshaker, they'll be bigger. Fisher on the sidelines. Echo, though, they couldn't get the touch on him. He bumps his BKB. DCMG caught out by the Solar Guardian. Like you said, any play you can make, Carstensz can respond. And boy, are they quick with it. Slam the door shut on that opportunity instantly. And Azura didn't even need to be involved.
No, there's literally 4 people when that fight started. There were only, like, there was 1 person there. The Zeus was isolated completely from the team.
Oh, here they go. Yona is just gone. I am surprised they didn't call it earlier, but I guess just trying to discuss what went wrong, and I don't know, Plate, you've had a very easy answer for them. I think even independent of the gameplay of needing to stick and group together, that just seems like such a handicapped way to play, right? You want to be splitting the map, you want to be maximizing your calls, so you really just gotta maybe show some respect to this global draft, because Carstensz, they've shown it before, it's nothing surprising. Farming up, now still maybe trying to play for the skewer under tower, but your skewer is dead. The Horn has been poached, Echo Slam is in, both supports are down, this is done. GG is called, InterActive Philippines. Not much to be done in the past 25 minutes of the game, it feels like. Lead kind of just slipped out of their hands and never came back. A very convincing victory here for Carstensz Esports.
I mean, this is what happens when you give the enemy team exactly what they like, what works for them. This is their draft. This is Carstensz Dota. They take away your entire map. It doesn't matter if you put the Spectre down like on 1 foot, bleeding out just on the ground. They'll come back from the hospital because Leon Baby's out there getting 12 kills after the lane's done. And InterActive Philippines, at no point during this game were they as 5. None. 0. It did not happen. You are never going to win a team game where there are 5 teammates against 5 opponents if you're never playing as 5. It's not going to happen. And Carstensz abuse the greed of InterActive Philippines.
Yeah, it's not even... Look at how much damage this Earthshaker has done. 44k, what a masterclass. Might just be an Earthshaker ban, to be honest. I think there are a few heroes that really dumpster the Earthshaker in lane, but against a technician, against a specialist, he's going to be able to get what he needs every single time. And when both your supports excel at stacking so much, it's not a problem. It just felt easy almost. Like, you look at the last hits and denies coming out from InterActive Philippines, all they did this game was farm. All they did this game was farm because that's all they could do. Look at the last hits and denies on Earthshaker. He was so busy killing heroes and he had no time to hit creeps.
You are missing one thing.
What am I
You're
missing?
missing important. They also died this game. They died a lot. They could not stay alive. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Well, we'll see whether they can stay alive in this best of 3. There's still 1 game to be played. If Carstensz can sort of put them away like that, it'll be a huge win for them in this group stage. But InterActive Philippines have a bit of an undefeated streak to try and keep up here. So we'll find out what happens in game number 2. We'll be right back.
Walking alone on the coldest night. There's nothing I can ever say to change your mind. I gotta live without your love. We've said goodbye. There's nothing I can ever say to change your. Defeated by the dreams and the memories we've made. To see it crashing out the skies like a tidal wave down on me. Walking alone on the coldest night. There's nothing I can ever say to change your mind. I got change your. I wanna know your dark side. I wanna know your secrets. I wanna be your lifeline. So I wait for you, wait for me. Wait for you, wait for me. Tell me you're more than just a highlight. Pretty pictures on the outside. I hate to stare at you through these lights. So wait for you, wait for me. Wait for you, wait for me.
Moshi Moshi, fellas, we are back. Game number 3, InterActive Philippines versus Carstensz Esports. Both teams taking one game off the other. First game wasn't even really that close. Carstensz Esports drafted a full orbital strike global lineup that just left no survivors. And game number 2, InterActive Philippines punched right back, right? It didn't really feel like Carstensz had as solid of a plan as per the past 2 games. And Plate, you were mentioning that the main matchup that you want to see, or at least you think is going to impact this series, is that mid lane matchup.
Yeah, so far, I mean, game 1 and game 2, the mid laner wins the lane in game 1, the team wins. Game 2, mid laner wins the lane, the team wins. So we're going to be paying really close attention to that mid lane. And Carstensz go back with the sauce that worked. They go double dip into the Magnus, which very disrespectful for you to do in most cultures. These guys don't care. They want to win.
Yeah.
And they've got the RP for the Phoenix. Like, as if Jotun didn't already have a free enough Phoenix game, they're going to put the Dawnbreaker ultimate on top of that too, because why not? The moment you get the Egg and Scepter on Dawnbreaker, good luck doing anything to that egg. So Carstensz really going back with the draft that, or things that worked with them in game one, and I'm here for it. I really like this approach, especially into an Alchemist who, even early on, you say the Alchemist has a much better lane than game two. I think it will, just because that was awful. You have a couple more items. You try to take a team fight. Very, very hard for any hero, no matter your net worth, to fight into an egg RP Dawnbreaker ultimate. It's just very difficult.
I like this
Oh!
because we're gonna get some spicy stuff here. Invoker for the potential mid lane matchup against Magnus, and a Riki picked. So the smoke screen, a big silence that. So this is some tech, and I'll get into it in a bit because we're sort of still going through the picks. They're going for the Spectre here, Carstensz. Once again, trying to mirror their global potential here. Just with a few missing components, right? Now you don't have the Zeus to give you that global vision, so maybe you want a different sort of setup. I'm not really sure, but so here's what I learned recently. People always think that smokescreen, for example, you put it on a enemy hero, and then that makes them miss their attacks, right? That's how it works. But what it also does is, on top of making your enemies miss attacks, it also gives your allies an evasion buff. So what that means is, if I'm hitting you, you put smokescreen on me, I BKB, it doesn't matter if you're still in the smoke screen because you still get evasion. So an MKB is now mandatory, and you look at the heroes on Carstensz, they don't really like to build an MKB.
Bloodthorn could be a solution because the Spectre will
That's true.
get one eventually, so that is part of one counter. However, it doesn't counter the BKB as you mentioned, so could definitely be an option there. And Alchemist is a BKB purchaser. Invoker also has can purchase a BKB if they need to. It's not the most Invoker-like item. I know a lot of Invoker players, personally, they all hate buying BKB on Invoker. I basically have to take them out back and show them a good time before they even think about buying the item.
Right. Which you do to all your friends who play Invoker, of course.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Thank God I don't
gotta
play
respect your
Invoker.
Invoker mids, dude, man.
Okay.
You gotta respect your Invoker mids. Yep.
I mean, the Invoker mids go crazy these days, right? Like, a lot of them sort of tacking more into the, I think, right-click build. Saw a lot of Witchblades, Hurricane Pikes, double Wraith Bands in the mid lane.
10 seconds remaining.
Yep. And I think that is the best way to play the Invoker currently. It just provides so much more hybrid damage for your team, and also it means you're less reliant on cooldowns, which Invoker, despite having 10 abilities, very cooldown dependent hero.
Yeah.
So the right clicks kind of really help supplement a lot of the damage that the Invoker can lack if you go for pure spells. So last pick here for Carstensz. The Coddle's banned out, so we won't be seeing that. Other supports that they like to play, Tiny probably won't be in the pick. You could maybe make a case for a Rubik.
You just need something to secure the Spectre's lane, right? Because I'm thinking this Phoenix is going to be potentially position 5 or position 4. I don't mind it too much with either side lane, but I think right now, if you're considering pivoting the Magnus to a support instead, one of these lanes is going to definitely be weaker. Because double melee into Lich Alchemist, that's going to be a tough time. You put the Magnus with the Spectre, works kind of like a bodyguard, but it might just be a situation like game number 1 where basically a Skywrath Mage just beats the shit out of your Spec and there's not much you can do as a Magnus. I mean, I guess you do know that the Riki is the pos 4, so maybe they're not too scared. But Riki is a hero that can provide a lot of kill threat early on as well.
Maybe you go for like a Hoodwink is something that Carstensz have played in the past. They've also played Mirana. But I don't think Mirana really helps that lane out. Marcy could be an option.
I think they want someone that gives them vision, right? The main problem now is that they got a lot of response, but they don't really have anyone to start the fight the same way the Zeus did. It wasn't that much of a problem when they had the Earthshaker who could sort of jump in and the Zeus to back them up, but now the Magnus doesn't really want to be the first one jumping in. They are gonna go for that pivot though, so it might be a Dawnbreaker support, might be a Magnus support, but more often than not, we see that Magnus be played in the support role instead, and the Earth Spirit mid to deal with the Invoker. I like that a lot.
Choose your hero.
Okay.
Tide.
You don't sound very
Trying to
convinced
counter
or
big-
enthusiastic about that.
You're like trying to counter big team fight with big team fight yourself, but I don't feel like Tide doesn't provide anything for the egg, which InterActive Philippines don't. I would honestly say they probably have worse egg heading potential with this draft than they did the last one. See, what I'm thinking about is like, what is the Tide Hunters game plan? Walk in and start a fight, right? Like that's ideally the Tide is just bodying for the rest of the team. The Alchemist can play around it, right? But the
10
thing about
seconds
Magnus is
remaining.
Magnus never looks at the first person. They look at people beyond that. So
5 seconds
if you have like a
remaining.
Lich or an Invoker on the backline, Magnus, BKB, blink in, RP, skewer in. Tide Hunter's already going to be in the front. And then the Phoenix pops the egg, your Ravage goes out, but it's not going to be on like a BKB Magnus. The egg is already there. Earth Spirit's waiting in the wings after that. Ravage is out. I just feel like the Tide doesn't really solve anything that InterActive Philippines were looking for. The only thing it could potentially do is if you want to initiate, and InterActive Philippines are thinking, well, instead of being initiated on, we're going to start fights, right? We're going to blink in. We're just going to see, play around the vision that Ariki could provide. In that sense, it's probably okay, but I'm not with the way that DCMG has played, both the Lycan and the Timbersaw, he tends to farm a lot more in the position 3. And the Tide Hunter can do that, but you need to fight with Ravage off cooldown. That's really the big thing for me. I think the best Tide Hunters know when to fight with that Ravage, and it doesn't feel like the kind of gameplay that DCMG is best at, so I really don't think that's going to close a lot of holes. I am going to give the draft over to Carstensz for game 3. We'll see. It could surprise me, but yeah, the lack of enthusiasm for me is more puzzling.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out where the puzzle piece goes.
Well, maybe I can help you out a little bit here, because on the contrary, I kind of like this Tide Hunter pick. I think it fits DCMG's playstyle of being very brazenly on the front lines, farming a lot, kind of maybe sometimes stepping into places he's not supposed to. I think that in InterActive Philippines, I guess the main thought is that, okay, well, how does this sort of enable the Alchemist? But I think just by existing on the map, you can put on a lot of pressure. So what I'd like to see from DCMG is I want him to sort of be playing on these front lines, pressuring the tower in the tier 1, pressuring the tower in the mid, running around with his team a little bit. He can farm, but the thing is, InterActive Philippines, they seem to be gearing up for like a very, very nice 20 to 30 minute timing when the Alchemist comes online. They have a decent lane partner in Jotun now who should be able to help Jet Baby not, feed it up. And yeah, I mean, overall, InterActive... Yeah, what'd you say?
30 seconds
No, go
to
ahead, go
battle.
ahead, go ahead.
No, I just think the lane setups are solid. You want somebody that can free up the Riki to make early rotations. You got that in the Tide Hunter. Anytime you try and jump in, you talked about the Magnus BKB. I mean, he's position 4. He's not gonna have that for a while. So
It is position 4. My apologies. I thought it was mid.
I mean, that argument still applies for the BKB coming up from Leon Baby, right? He's probably gonna go something like Blade Mail, BKB, but it's not quite as severe or detrimental if he lands an ult and you don't like Ravage him. You Ravage everybody else coming in. The Phoenix, if he gets tagged out by a Ravage, it's gonna be awkward. There's no egg. The Dawnbreaker lands into a potential Ravage as well, because you have that. You always have that sort of combo break potential. So I actually think that this offlaner gives them what they want to deal with the overwhelming team fight. It basically gives them a get out jail free card. It's not like I press Ravage and I win the fight. It's more like I press Ravage and all your useful cooldowns are down. Alchemist, kill.
Yes. Yeah, I see. I understand the point of view. I actually agree with a lot of those points that you made there. The thing that I'm a little bit worried about for IAP, I have already played against this kind of draft. They did not play against it very well as a team. Like irrespective of the
components
picks,
and
right?
whatnot.
Like they were just, yeah, exactly. They were all completely isolated. Azura got bodied in lane, didn't really matter. He managed to climb himself back into relativity. And, you know, the situations we're talking about are if the Tidehunter is anywhere near the fights. I don't think DCMG has really positioned himself in for the team fights in game 1. We'll see if he can do so in game 3 here. But, yeah, I mean, the counter ravage is useful if he's there. And that's the big thing for me is the macro positioning from IEP was not very good into this kind of lineup. But Farming Arc is in a lot of trouble bottom.
Last auto attack, Jotun actually walks away and ends up being a double for Jet Baby. Off lane already going pretty rough for the side of Carstensz. And yeah, I mean, that is as good of a start as you could ask for the Alchemist. A very different beginning for what Azura was facing in that game number 2, man.
It's like night and day. Jet Baby already has infinitely more kills than Azura in game 2 times 2.
Yeah, literally. That's how math works. Now, Jet Baby did kind of step up quite aggressively. Farming Arc, of course, making use of that level 2. Gotta be careful. A hammer can come out if you're not careful. Jet. Alright. Well, that's just sloppy. Maybe he just wanted to die because he cleared most of the creep wave, because it wouldn't be very efficient for him to have to regen all the way up anyway. So, not losing out on a lot. The Lich is probably going to try and drag the creep wave to a sort of easier position after the pull. Yeah, I don't fully disagree with that. I think it's fine. Doesn't miss much other than one range creep there.
Yeah, calculated deaths. Not all deaths in Dota are bad. There are such things as worth
okay deaths. That was an okay death.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. You know, a good is like a pos 5 breaking a smoke. You know, you dragging 4 enemy heroes as a pos 5. Usually it relates to pos 5. Yeah. You know, pos 1 good deaths. I don't really know whether that's real. Yeah, but DCMG gonna have a chill time, right? Like DCMG is literally not gonna be bothered in this lane whatsoever.
No.
The Phoenix and the Spectre cannot actually ever pressure him out. He can help out with the sort of aggression that Sagiri Baby is trying to put out with a stray gush. He's gonna be piss chilling down here. How's the mid lane though? Yona up against Leon Baby. Invoker doing very well. Actually, all 3 calls on IAP. Top of the CS right now. Yep.
And this is basically the start of how both teams have won in the previous games. Nice deny on the banner creep as well in mid lane. It's a very big deal to get those denies if you can.
That's kind of the gameplay as this Invoker, at least. Just right click to your heart's content.
Yep.
Top lane, we saw a bit of a defensive TP out from DCMG. It was at risk of being dived upon there. He's honestly quite low on this Tidehunter. A lot more than I thought. He has, I believe, some regen flying out, hopefully. Where's his courier at?
Well, he's got a Lotus on his person, so he should be fine.
Yeah. Just try to save as much EXP as possible. Getting that cell. Oh, the late break. Come on, brother.
Oh, no.
Well, it's not that big of a deal, but still, you know. This is like the DCMG hate cast, man. we dogging on this guy.
Pick it on him. Pick it on him a little bit. It's okay. Yeah. You'll show us wrong. You know, you'll prove us wrong. Typical offlaners.
True.
But yeah, no, Jet Baby's having the time of his life right now. He's just completely farming it up. Already looking towards that Radiance, which was something that, you know, didn't really happen the last game. The opposing team did not have to contend very much with that. Nice play to get the skewer underneath the tower as well in the bottom lane. And Jotun might go down here. He does.
Jet Baby can't get that last touch. So very low on both the heroes of Carstensz, but they will be able to waddle their way back to the tower. And that was not a good death. But I'd argue to say if you are laning with an Alchemist and you die instead of him, I can accept. That's okay. That's barely okay.
That's okay, Jeff.
I would say so, actually. I would think that's fine. And you bring him a salve, so I think
Yona's very low in terms of in the mid lane. They bring over Jotun.
The skewer, the lifesteal though, coming out from the cold step auto attacks. Leon Baby able to disjoint the tower aggro. Nice little rotation there from Ali Akbar. making use of the
Radiant's
fact that
middle
Lich was
tower is
down.
under attack.
Meanwhile, top lane, Olivie B gets cut down by the Ricky. Nice little tag team action there.
Nice ward though.
Oh, Leon, baby. Clocks him with a roll. So very happy on this Elf Spirit now. And an AD rune,
And the rune is top, of course.
of course.
Of course.
They might go for a
They're
second
gonna
round.
make another. They are.
Yeah. Nice little double tornado EMP though. Cuts them down on the mana. The roll is a little bit off the mark, and Leon Baby actually doesn't have any mana. Yona still might go down here though. Frost Shield doesn't protect you against the magic damage. Now they will get the kill onto this Earth Spirit as a trade. But that still hurts a lot for your mid laner. Olivie B does get clicked down. Now Ali Akbar with no mana pops that wand. That's huge. The evasion coming out from the smoke screen, it's not gonna be enough. Sagiri Baby ends up going down, and Ali Akbar, level 5 from the Magnus, looking very strong right now.
Yeah, it's actually still worth it for Carstensz in the middle area of the map, but you know, is what a normal caster would say, but we're better than that. We know that this is just space for Jed Baby Alchemist, completely free farming right now. Level 6, 60 CS.
Holy shit.
The money is flowing, and once that Radiance comes up in like what, 11 minutes, it's going to be mode ignore game farm lane for Alchemist, and Azura is nowhere near the same kind of impact, but he does have ultimate on that Spectre. Assume that Carstensz are going to look for another play.
He called it immediately. Jotun gets wiped off the map. Saw the Lich. Goodbye.
Yep.
But
Hello,
Jed Baby at least
goodbye.
can rest easy knowing that he's not going to be a haunt target, just chilling down here. All the attention is mid lane, trying to skewer out. Solar Guardian coming in though, nice save. Symphony of skills there. Honestly, it was just clicking one button for farming Arc, but still very nicely done. It's a
about
symphony
layering
of
it, right?
skills. He pressed his ultimate.
It's very important to land those skills though. Unlike DCMG and Timber Chain. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Okay, so what I will say is that
Poor guy.
Carstensz, they're putting in
Yep.
a lot of pressure in the mid lane, right? Yona suffering big time for it. But their side lanes are having an equally difficult situation. DCMG is gonna lose his courier. They're trying to hunt down this Spectre, who's doing a great job juking them out. Ravage out onto that solo Earth Spirit. They managed to catch Azura as well. DCMG might go down to the magic damage, but he's still surviving. Diving onto them, and the Tornado's gonna clip that Earth Spirit. Now Ali Akbar's in trouble, Olivie B. They're all running here with 0 mana. DCMG under the tower will tank it. Can't escape away though, no smoke screen to cover him. But DCMG very happy about that. This is exactly what you want. You try and get attention with the Tidehunter, try and get attention with your Alchemist, and then you bring everybody in. Great first use of the Ravage.
Yeah, it was a very, very nice Ravage. Farming Arc didn't have the, he did have a TP, but no ultimate, decided not to go into that engagement, didn't want to feed away another death. So it is not a team wipe. However, Jed Baby, so close to Radiance already. Probably going to be that 11-minute timing. In mid they go.
Sorry, Shadow Step in the mid lane, Yoda.
Yep.
As that Ghost Walk, they have a dust. Good support Olive B, but here's Jotun trying to replicate that Lich performance from his counterpart. Oh, it's a Giri baby coming in for the kill. They get the Spectre. That is not how you want things to go. Now, Olivie B still doesn't have that level 6, so no ink to bail him out, but maybe Sagiri Baby's gone a little bit too deep. The uncharged ticking. No further stones to chase them. They'll back up for now.
I think actually Magnus should just leave and get that Blink Dagger. He's going to have a really good timing if he does it.
Generation on the Ricky. Roll off the mark. That might be huge. Might just get a tricks of the trade, but can't get it off in time. Tornado's gonna whiff as well. Symphony of skills for real. RP lands onto Yona. Now Leon Baby still trying to fight with the Magnetize, but there's a Ghost Walk, there's a Dust. Goka hasn't really been able to get out for free so far. On the Lich without any mana can't actually do anything. In comes the Dawnbreaker, in comes the Spectre, the global strat coming into play, and they take down that Invoker. It looks like Jotun might fall as well. DCMG, he's trying to be a meat shield for his team, but they just don't care about him. They just walk away.
That was the first time RP actually landed and didn't get canceled by some smoke screen by the Riki, who was not there. And that Magnetize did so much work too. I mean, just chipping away at everybody. The IAP couldn't disengage. Very nice play. They do have all the UB does have that Phoenix Egg now, as stated previously.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This Alchemist just completely, again, free farm, absolute freedom for Alchemist at this point. Has the Radiance money already. Is a little bit low though. Doesn't want to get baited into going for that Radiance and dying, but brings the courier over. He's going to be okay.
You in the mid lane onto DCMG. Looking at this Tide Hunter, I don't know if he wants to Ravage because the team is fighting on the other side. He might just have bought enough time for them though. Yeah, he's not going to use it. Try and get the kill into farming up. Last hit, Blink Strike not available. End up trading one for nothing here, yeah, and smoke up immediately. Carstensz looking for more action, roll up into the Alchemist, but this is the fresh Radiance like you talked about. He's gonna have a lot of mileage in this fight. Smoke screen up means that no roll away, and now the egg is gonna be under threat as well. Easy auto attack down, Ali Akbar a bit too late. Tornado to catch him mid-skewer, and they found the Spectre as well. They're just losing big members here. Carstensz gotta wonder whether that was the right fight to take. The Solar Guardian wasn't available, and even though they get DCMG to start, they lose 3.
Dude, I think it was a good call to take that fight, but the problem is you look at the green diamonds underneath the portrait, right? They did have RP, they did have Magnetize. They just couldn't get the spells off. This smoke screen is becoming a huge problem for them.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
They didn't have the counter initiation from Magnus set up quite yet, so the egg felt a little bit off the mark, but I do think it was the right call to go for it. Just situation that didn't pan out very well for them, and all of VB TPs into lane just to lose almost all of their HP. Yeah. Yeah,
no egg, no ultimate. That's kind of the downside of the Carstensz lineup, right? This global strat looks so oppressive at the start, but if you can get off to an actual good start, it's hard for them to get rolling like that when you're the one behind. Now Ali Akbar trying for the blink on the catch. Sagiri baby just gonna give him a high five for his troubles. And a voice line too.
Well, no return high five, so
very sad.
Very sad. Yep.
Cross on the solo target, maybe expecting more to come in and help. Roll's gonna go wide, but that's into an immediate Ravage. They're trying to focus down this Dawnbreaker. RP whiffs! Oh, I'm not sure what exactly damaged him there, but they will just get that Dawnbreaker. Leon baby trying to get a fat Magnetize out. RP, again, can you imagine if there was an RP there? That would be huge. But now Sagiri baby chasing onto Leon. And Yona getting burnt down. They're trying to find this Invoker here. But where is the Alchemist? Finally joining the fight. Now on to Azura. Big trouble for this Spectre. The Meteor's gonna drop on his head. Silenced up by the smoke screen. And probably gonna get run down. Now this egg, no one's there to hit it though. DCMG gonna try and turn around, but Jet Baby still has his sights on Ali. I mean, overall, this fight was a bit messier than IEP probably wanted, but they lose Yona and not much else. Olivier B actually getting a kill onto the Ricky as the dust settles there, but does go down. So Jet Baby, big win of that fight as per usual this game. Gets himself a Wisdom Rune while he's at it. Overall, it's a pretty even gold swing, but the money, I think it goes into the right pockets here. Meanwhile, you look at Carstensz, so much of that net worth in the fight went to Olivier B.
I mean, it doesn't even matter, dude, because the Alchemist didn't die. No pressure's being put onto Jet Baby whatsoever. I keep saying he's had complete free farm. 7-1-3, 135 CS at 15 minutes. Blink Dagger Radiance completed. Like game 2, Alki didn't even have a Radiance. I think he only had the Talisman of Evasion, just to tell you how much better this Alchemist performance has been. And Jet Baby wants a little bit more. Finds himself a new. That's a new kind of creep in a camp that doesn't exist.
Yeah. The creep camp is called Carstensz Esports, I believe.
Oh, I believe. Oh. I feel like Carstensz Esports would farm me if I tried to hunt that down. I don't know. I don't think I'd hold the candle to these guys.
Sort of level requirement for that one, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, clearly IAP are at that level or higher. They are making quick work of this lineup. Now, it's a pretty even
dude.
game gold-wise, but, I mean, now you RP onto 2. Look at DCMG just shrugging that off. He doesn't care. Tricks of the trade to dodge out that skewer. In comes a beautiful chain cross onto 2. Leon, baby. Pops their haste rune. Now, Azura does manage to get a kill onto the Ricky, but, yeah, just has to immediately run away. Probably gonna get the kill onto Olivie again. So, Jed, he's having a grand old time here. Keep in mind, folks, this is only 16 minutes into the game, and the Alchemist is at 12k net worth.
Twice the net worth of Spectre, with some, you know, assumed rounding involved into that statement. So, you know, forgive me for not giving a 100% accurate statement, but it remains to be seen exactly how IAP don't do well at this point. But DCMG,
That's the DCMG classic.
yep. You get one free one. You know what I mean?
Okay, buy one, free one, I guess, goes both ways. You do skewer back in Yona, though. Buy back onto Leon, baby. This is an attempt for sure, but I don't know whether it's a good one. They will swipe down the Invoker, and now looking at this Alchemist, uh-oh. Jet, baby, manages to pop that Chemical Rage, though, and will be regenning up. They end up losing the Ricky on the front lines, though. All things considered, we talk about how good of a game this Alchemist is having. His team is starting to fall all around him. The team fight's coming together now for Carstensz. Nice egg in time, and now with the Spirit Vessel, but still, there's a Ravage. I don't think it's gonna bail him out, though. He has one charges, but not much help left. And his Chemical Rage is gonna run out. Leon, baby, actually finding a favorable fight in that situation. Are Carstensz doing it here?
Dude, I just want to highlight how clutch that egg was. The projectile for that potion was in the middle of the air towards the Phoenix, and he dodged it with egg. It would have been a completely different story, but nobody got stunned because of that egg dodge. And, I mean, Alchemist, I know you feel strong, buddy. You can't go in 1v5. You need at least, like, 4,000 more net worth if you want to think about doing that at this stage of the game.
I think we gotta keep in mind as well
that it's
that
only
this
a 3,000
Invoker...
gold lead now.
The thing is, this Invoker was supposed to be their second core, right? But he's had a really rough one.
Yeah.
Yona basically being singled out and focused down every fight. Azura's done a great job at that. And speaking of Azura, of course, as soon as I mentioned him, he's gonna be the one singled out and focused down in his own jungle.
Yep.
Perhaps picking out some wards here, but really... It's just about IAP. They need to try and keep things together here. This big team fight is still a scary prospect for them. Carstensz, they have circles on circles.
Again.
Oh no, Jet Baby. Oh, he's gonna go down. That is huge.
Oh, the first death is a mistake. It's not the first mistake that'll kill you, it's the second one. As a chess proverb, for those of you wondering where that came up with. I did, that's not an original. But that second mistake has put Alchemist easily 2,000 or 3,000 gold behind. And now, I mean, farming arc is so much money.
Of course, as we talked about him, he's gonna die. I say that, but he still manages to slide away for now. Yep, ends up going down. Don't have the RP, but this is still a horrific situation for IAP. Losing Yona, losing Sagiri, baby. And they can just ignore the Tidehunter until the very end, slowly do more damage. Look at Jotun now, they don't have mana for the skewer, so easy TP out. Get this Tidehunter. Very difficult to kill though, so they're not even gonna bother, it's not worth their time.
Yeah, Watermelon Boy cannot get locked down, and Jet Baby respawning.
Might still try though.
Well,
biding their time.
this is a little bit too deep, I think.
Okay, well, I mean, if you're gonna miss the spells like that, they're gonna try and use that Spirit Vessel. Last roll doesn't connect. In comes Jet Baby. Okay, well, maybe that was a bit too much. The egg again, pretty clutch along with the Fire Spirits to stop the auto attacks from coming out. DCMG taking quite a lot of damage from that shockwave. Ali is still looking for it, but has to blink out. He has no mana. So the disengage is there. IAP, still a very bad fight for them, all things considered. They lose Jet Baby in the bot lane. They lose Yona and Sagiri. And that was with Ravage and all their ults and everything. Now, Ali does go down. A nice catch by Jotun, but still.
Yeah, no, that's definitely still worth it for them. And the thing is, Azura is now the one that just gets complete free farm throughout that engagement. So, you know, starting to climb back up that net worth chart. You see him at the 4th position, likely wanting to be in that 2nd. We'll get there soon, likely. The Blade Mail's been finished as well for the Spectre. They found themselves a lich, bottom, Aghanim Scepter for farming arc is going to help get this kill.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And that Aegon Scepter is such a big part of Carstensz's game plan too on this Dawnbreaker. And now if the Alchemist goes on a target, you're not going to kill him. It's just not going to happen.
Kind of feels like Jet Baby has had trouble killing the targets anyway, right? He doesn't attack enough of a punch, which is a crazy thing to say for Alchemist with such an insane timing. But with some of these team fights, Carstensz, they've been able to pull themselves back into the game. The network hasn't really looked good for their team, but the fact that they're sort of coming together, using these spells in tandem with each other, more circles good, it seems like.
You know what? I think some really handsome and very smart person said that at game 1. I don't know who that was.
Yeah.
But definitely.
I guess we'll never know.
No, we'll never know. A prophet of Dota 2, some may say. Lost to time.
Who's saying that?
I am saying that.
You're saying that, okay.
I'm saying that, yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah.
A Spectre shot picked up by the Tormentor. Pretty interesting. I guess it's because the Magnus and the Phoenix have purchased their own. Yep. There's that. Dispersion.
That's a massive. That's a massive one too.
This is pretty good, yeah.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, just the fact that you have the Blade Mail plus the Dispersion, if you ever become the target of an Invoker or Alchemist, no amount of HP regen from your right clicks or natural chemical rage will, give you the survivability through your own damage. So, Spectre, again, it's just a clock ticking very, very slowly. It was going a lot faster earlier. Like the opportunity that IAP had to win the game was closing it pretty rapidly. Smoke up from Carstensz. They definitely want to take this fight. They have everything available. They may even take the fight anyway.
They might. It's dropping low though. In comes the Sunstrike just to finish off the Roche. Still looking for an opportunity, but Jet Baby beat them to the punch on the front lines. Uh-oh, Ali Akbar, get on out of there. Skewer back to safety. And Jet Baby alone, he doesn't have any way of catching these heroes. The dive out. Forced off as well to the low ground if need be. That's what it'll do. Still the chase on. One more blink. Does Jet Baby look for it? Tries to find the Magnus, but nicely done from Ali Akbar to get himself back up to safety. Still at the skewer if need be. Now Sagiri Baby is creeping around here though. I think trying to initiate onto this solo Alchemist. He doesn't have the Aegis. It was on the Invoker, and this Alchemist is in big, big trouble. They crash down. They will be able to narrowly finish him off there with the hammer. And that was a big mistake coming out from Jet Baby. I didn't know he didn't have the Aegis from the way he was playing. Ravage out only onto one BKB Earth Spirit and Azura. But nice, Ali Akbar there with the skewer to keep them away from his carry. And Leon Baby is doing mad work. Look at the Magnetize starting to tick away. They haven't killed the Invoker just yet, and he's starting to pump out serious right clicks. Emma will finish off the Lich. Now the 3 remaining members of IAP should be able to click down this Dawnbreaker. It's not too bad, all things considered. Triple kill for DCMG.
You do kill that Alchemist again, however. I mean, you do get the Aegis, so, if it normally would have been relatively even, in my opinion. IAP do come out ahead because of that Aegis purchase. Oh, Azura.
What was that about? I guess just really wanted to defend the tower.
I guess so. Kind of worked.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, it worked.
Yeah, what the?
Yeah.
All right.
They have a word for Yona as well. Oh, he's stuck again.
It's nice. It's a nice tornado, but he four-staffs into a Spectre with a Sentry. So this last life is probably going to go down. The rest of IAP, they can't really just leave that Invoker to dry here. So DCMG will come on over, but that's the Aegis advantage basically out of the picture.
They didn't get anything for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was a big load of nothing. 7k gold lead maintained now for IAP though. Even though they do lose the Alchemist, I think kind of slowly getting the Invoker back into the game is a meaningful endeavor. He's gonna be able to do a lot of work in these fights. Yeah.
I mean, we're kind of seeing the torch for IAP being shifted over from one hand to another. It wasn't the left hand, that's where the Alchemist was, and now the Invoker right-handed shift gonna be able to carry the burden of the damage for IAP, and we may even see Carstensz look to put a little bit more pressure onto the Invoker as well.
Run into Sagiri, baby. Immediate jump there. There's silence. Throughout the chain cross, Leon Baby able to pop the BKB now, rolling onto Jotun. Not really sure about whether this fight is what they wanted. In comes the Spectre, Shadow Step, managing to jaunt away. They take down the support for now, and a nice RP onto 2, holding them in place. But where's the follow-up damage? DCMG still has the Ravage to pop if need be. Will finally throw it out. Catches all of them. And now they have to run. Olive B starting to get clicked down by the Invoker. Nobody on top of Yona this fight. And he is going to have free reign. Sunstrike down on the Phoenix. Now looking at this Dawnbreaker. Has that BKB to pop. We'll just try and TP away, and there's not enough physical damage to cut her down. So she'll end up being fine. Meanwhile, Jet Baby does chase down Ali Akbar in the bot side of the fight. I mean, despite some of these awkward attempts there, sloppy again, like we said, from IAP, even in the game 2 that they won, they are coming together here and making use of this timing.
And I think the big issue is they keep going on Jotun. He's got himself Solar Crest plus Glimmer Cape and a Frost Shield, no Nullifier. Means that this Lich is basically unkillable every time you go on them. And the full BKB duration from the Earth Spirit was spent trying to kill a Lich that was never gonna work.
Oh, Azura might have just been found here. Tornado will clip him. He walks back into it, and the Ice Wall to slow him down to a crawl. Pulled back into the clutches of the Chain Frost, and he'll go down. I mean, I just gotta say, this has not been a convincing carry performance from Azura at all in this series.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is
Yeah,
under
he's struggled very hard, but maybe it speaks more to IAP, right? Shutting him down in the lane and then just making him uncomfortable, right? Like, you don't have a good lane in all 3 games, and then you try to find space around in the mid game, and it gets shut down too.
Dire's middle
Really
tower
relying
is
on
under
those mids, and we talked about it. Leon Baby getting initiated upon now in the top lane.
Meanwhile, bot lane, farming up, getting killed off under his own safe area, quote unquote. Yona, I think he's just really had such a big comeback, right? Ever since that first little rough period in the first 15-20 minutes, that Aegis really gave him the agency to play a lot more confident. And he is taking that with Storm. DCMG,
Where
classic
are you?
DCMG. Just in there. Okay. Tornado to keep the Phoenix at bay, Sunstrike in as well, just gets the kill. Just styling on them at this point on the Invoker.
Yep. Yeah, Yona Invoker is proving to be incredibly effective. Doesn't even have the Witchblade. Opting to go for the what I call modern Invoker build, which is the Mage Slayer and the Hurricane Pike. Has a full BKB ready, locked and loaded to go. It's gonna make it so much harder to kill this guy. And 17,000 gold lead now for IAP. Earth Spirit is basically a glorified support at this point, and I say that because Jotun has more net worth than him.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Jotun's had a great game. This Lich hero is just something different.
Yeah, it really is.
On the high ground. Oh, okay.
Well,
that was never gonna work. That was never gonna work. If Jotun had a pair of eyes, that was never going to work. There's an attempt there from Ali to skewer them back in, but without their Magnus now.
Dire's structures are fortified.
How do you
The
fight?
net worth is the problem. It really is 18,000 gold. I mean, IAP can get away with making a couple of mistakes, but at some point, Carstensz, they tried to come back, but they need to start pressing buttons.
I mean, the only button this Phoenix will be pressing might be the buyback, but he doesn't even have that. Nice catch with the anchor and the silence, and this is looking real tough now.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
It's all grayed out.
Dire's middle barracks is falling.
I mean, just the way that IAP have played this 3rd game is completely phenomenally. Look at them as 5, united as 1.
All they needed to do was group together. I mean, you're talking about it from the start. Now, Ali has a potential RP, but they're already onto farming up. Your Dawnbreaker has to pop the BKB, roll in onto the Alchemist. Okay, what now? Well, Leon maybe just walks away. That's your BKB timing out. Now, Carstensz, they do have an opportunity here. Still have all their ultimates. Still have 5 heroes. In comes Ali Akbar. Start out with the skewer, catching the Alchemist for what's next. Sunray to try. Olive B needs to watch though. Olive B is dead. No BKB now. This Earth Spirit leashed up and caught out. Will just die off. That Solar Guardian not gonna save him while he's in the sky. Nice RP onto 3, but where is the follow-up? You're busy trying to kill off the solo Ricky. The Spectre is reflecting quite a bit of damage, but it's not going to be enough. BKB from Yona clicking down your carry. And that Dawnbreaker will fall as well. Surely that's got to be it. GG is called. And Carstensz will get slapped down. It looked promising after that first game, but IAP, they come right back after that warm-up.
Yeah, that game 1 was very forgettable for IAP, but they finally learned how to play against this global draft, which is very simple. Don't give them Zeus and play as a team. Once they get those check marks going, I mean, it became incredibly trivial for them to win, and Carstensz need to figure out a solution to get their carry in the game earlier, because they did not have the time against that Alchemist to win. And Jotun on this Lich as well. This Lich was just completely turning away all of the initiations from Carstensz. The eggs early on were pretty decent, but again, there just wasn't enough follow-up. The layering on Carstensz's team fighting was completely shut down by this very niche Riki pick. But niche sometimes works. Hey, so we like what we like. We can't control it, and this Riki, I kind of liked it.
Yeah, for sure. I think it just really, the way that this draft ended up with the Riki and the Tide Hunter just gave InterActive Philippines what they needed, right? It gave a way for, I guess, Carstensz to be a bit distracted while Yona was slowly farming his way back into the game, ends up doing so much hero damage on that Invoker. Just a real force to be reckoned with. But InterActive Philippines, they are going to win this series 2-1. It's a bit of a struggle after that early game in the game number 1. I honestly didn't think they were going to sort of sweep back this dominating in this dominating fashion, but they managed to do it. And that's going to wrap up our first series of the day. Now, for those of you wondering why Myth Avenue Gaming isn't playing, they actually forfeited their match against Yangon, but that's not done just yet. At least that doesn't mean that Yangon are done for the day. They actually, they still have a match up against Ivory. That'll be at 6 p.m. Singapore time. So that will be in just about 3 hours for now. The stream's going to go offline for a bit, probably come back for that. So take a little break, get some lunch if you haven't already, maybe play a pub or two, try this support Riki out. But for Plate and I...
No, don't do that.
Okay, well, yeah, sorry. Giving bad advice here. But yeah, be sure to be back here at 6 p.m. as we will have another match of EPL Southeast Asia for you. But for now, see you guys then.
Cause you say those things, then shut me out. Got no clue what you have found. I'm a rose in thorns, but you cut me down. It's wrong, I can't make right. I love the bird below you, said myself that this is the last time. It's wrong, I can't make right. Slipping off in the moonlight when I knew the truth. I had myself for you. I know the truth.
Those medical pills all push me over. hesitate. These hands and no fuse won't make me sober.